Welcome to Vulnerable Relationships.
My fiancée admitted to me last night that she cheated on me once with a guy from her work about 2.5 years ago before we were engaged. She says they didn't have sex but made out and touched each other. I feel sick writing this. We've had an amazing relationship for these 5 years and we both want to get married and have a family. Nearly everyone we've ever met has said that we are perfect for each other. But now I'm incredibly confused. We spent all last night crying together. She feels incredibly remorseful and I'm torn between wanting to forgive her and move on and worrying that this could happen again and could be a big red flag. When the infidelity occurred, we were going through a bit of a rough patch because we barely got to see each other with our work schedules and it put a big strain on the relationship. She left the company they both worked at soon after all this happened. But she admits that they do text each other on occasion but just as friends. She says she's ready to cut off all communication with him, but I feel like that doesn't even need to be said. Shouldn't she want to cut off all communication with this guy? Not sure it makes a difference, but he has a girlfriend now and lives farther away. She mentioned last night that she wants to see a therapist and I don't know if I should or can be involved in that process. She said that it wasn't as much of a physical attraction to this guy but rather an emotional one during our rough patch. She maintains it was a one-time thing and that she never wants to hurt me again. Update 1. Update 1, first off, thanks for all the comments. I appreciate it. To answer a few questions, the reason she finally admitted it to me was that we were having a pretty deep emotional relationship talk and she started crying out of nowhere. I pressed for an answer and she finally admitted it. She told me she couldn't tell me because she thought she would lose me. My gut tells me that there's probably more to this story than I know right now. I'm gonna take some time for myself. I know everyone says their relationship is different, but I believed ours was. Update 2. Update 2, as far as cutting off communication with this guy, it wasn't so much that she put the ball in my court. She told me she wants to cut off communication with him and tell him they could not speak anymore, and my reply was, why do you even need to give him the courtesy of that notification? I think she genuinely wants nothing to do with him anymore. Update 3. Update 3, I'm thinking about reaching out to a therapist and I'm not sure how to go about it, as I've never had one before. Is it best to schedule a session with both of us first, just myself? Both of us separately? Also, when should I do this? Do I need to take more time before I contact a professional?
Comments.
Comment 1. Bet you dollars to donuts they screwed. Probably more than once. Confessing this little bit helps assuage her guilt and gives her root for deniability if the truth ever starts to emerge. OP, you need to seriously consider bailing, or at least indefinitely postponing the wedding until you mentally sort through all this. Honestly, how will you ever be able to trust anything she says again? Will you ever trust her around coworkers? Or if she has any male friends or goes on a business trip? The lack of trust is no way to start a marriage. Also, this quote, "How do I patch this up?" from your TLDR is curious. Why is this your responsibility to patch up? You aren't the cheater. This isn't your job to patch. It's up to you to decide if you want to continue being with her, but the patching job is 100% on her to find ways to prove to you that she can be a faithful partner. It's not your job whatsoever to find ways for her to do it. The fact she still texts this guy pretty much indicates that she's not going to be up for the challenge. And frankly, she doesn't feel that bad about cheating. Lying to you for over 2 years, she's counting on you being engaged as a strong foundation to soften the blow of her betrayal. The fact that she hasn't stopped communicating while leaving the choice open to you may be considered a big manipulation move. She's trying to give you some imaginary control to make you feel better when that should have already been done. Trickle truth of death. Do not marry.
Thanks for watching the video. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing. See you in the next video.